So when that time comes, please join us. But I'm wondering about a shelf life for players. And LeBron's been in the news, of course, with the idea that he took his money, almost $53 million. And then Rich Paul came out and said he's about winning and he's going to monitor the Lakers and what they're doing. And this could be his last year with the Lakers, and he could go somewhere else if he wanted to continue to play, especially if it looks like the Lakers are going to, build a team around Luka. But my thing is, I'm starting to see a lot of comments from people about, LeBron fatigue. Can he just retire now? Stuff like that, like a big volume. And I thought to myself, is there a shelf life? Can people get tired of players, and players get to play longer? When you look at players like Larry Bird or Isaiah Thomas,
Sure.
Those guys played 13 years. They didn't play a long time. Michael Jordan, 13. LeBron's in, what is this, 21st season coming up? And Tom Brady played 21 or 22 seasons. Like, you start to look at that. Aaron Rodgers, I believe, is this 21 coming up?
This is 20 right now.
20. I mean, people are now 20 where guys played 13 years. They're playing, a third of the time more than guys played in the past. And I think that's where you wind up, where people start to take aim at you, because you can stick around too long and people get tired of you or don't want to hear enough with the LeBron, the stories. I know people got tired of Tom Brady, no matter how great he was. There were the detractors who wish he would have retired, and then every year was like, is he going to play again? He's going to come back. We remember that. We had that with Brett Favre, the same kind of thing. But it just got tiring, and I feel that way with Aaron Rodgers. I think there are a lot of people who would rather him just retire and not play, and I think he will retire. I do believe that after this season with Pittsburgh, so that'll probably be the end of it. But where are you on players having a shelf life and fans tired of LeBron? Do you think most fans want to see LeBron continue to play as long as he can, or would most rather him bow out?
I don't think that players have a shelf life in terms of if your shelf life is when you can no longer compete at a high level, to me. The thing that gets you with a LeBron or a Brady or a Rodgers, in that it's the dance of, am I playing this year? Am I coming back this year? We got to improve the team, build around me, that general attitude. Like for Steph, like no one is saying that Steph Curry has overstayed his welcome. He's just as old as these guys. Like no one is saying that about Steph Curry.
How many years has he played? Has it been 20? It hasn't been.
Steph Curry's 36 years old. So, I mean, he's
right, but he's not. LeBron's 40, going to be 41, right?
Right,
Aaron Rodgers.
But my point,
I think there comes a time, like Steph's not there yet, right? If he started at 22, he's got 14 years, 15 years, something like that. So he's not 20.
My point, it's about how you act. It's about how you act, and it's how you interact with the media. It's about how you interact with your teammates. It's about how you interact with everybody else. Tim Duncan, I'm not exactly sure how long his career was, but when it was time for him to go and he retired, nobody that year was like, man, if we don't, Tim Duncan's just got to get out of the league. That wasn't the case. But like the idea that LeBron right now is being disingenuous. Like you locked in for this $51.3 or whatever $0.6 million option, and now are playing basically the same playbook. It feels, at least, it could be the same playbook that we've seen several times throughout his career. And at a certain point in time, there's an annoyance of, dude, sometimes only the top of the guys at the top can do this. And not to say LeBron is no longer necessarily at the top, but you also have to understand the market around you, where if you're the Lakers, you're 100% about to build around Luka Doncic, who you just traded for. Like,
guy's only 25 years old, right?
You had the Anthony Davis, LeBron era. You traded away one of those pieces. And just even if it wasn't Luka, if it wasn't five-time All-NBA, if it wasn't a finals appearance before 26 years old, if it wasn't that, you broke up the pairing that you built to win championships to bring in somebody else. Generally, you're going to build around the new piece, unless you're just tanking to try to get a new draft pick.
Yeah, I think LeBron also hurts himself the longer he plays and doesn't win. I do, because you start to look at the years piling up and you still have the 4 championships. And you start looking around and you say, well, Steph has that. You know, like, it's not special. Like, if he plays 24 or 25 years, right? Or, I don't know. Could he play 2 more years? What do you got, 20?
Yeah, but that still doesn't take away, to me, the way he was able to play at his prime.
Yeah, but it's not the same prime. And I'm going to say this, because people talk about his numbers. Look at his plus minus. He was like one of the worst players. So I get it. It's easier to score in the NBA than ever before. So when you look at his numbers, they're inflated. They're not like real numbers to me, because everybody can score. You can't play defense against people. You can't touch people. So LeBron is able to score. I don't have that issue. But if you're looking at plus minus and what he does on the last year, he was like one of the worst players in the league. Even in the playoffs, I think he was minus 53 when he was on the court. So what is his real impact? Not just looking at raw numbers. You think he's the same player as he was 10 years ago?
No, but that's not what I said. I said what's happening right now doesn't invalidate 10 years ago.
I'm not invalidating
had the Eastern
anything.
Conference on lock.
Well, he had no other. Everybody else was on his team. Who was in the way?
He was in the Eastern Conference Finals for a decade. Like, he had the Eastern Conference on lock. That doesn't change. What's happening right now doesn't change that, to me, at least. It doesn't invalidate that, to me.
I didn't say I invalidate anything. I'm just saying I don't think he's the same player.
He's 40 years old. That's not expecting him to be the same player.
I know, but people look at the numbers and they keep saying 25 and 8, you know, like Kelvin and I argue all the time. Kelvin doesn't look at anything else other than those numbers. And he says, oh, well, LeBron is I think he said, one of the top 10 players in the league. I don't think he is.
Well, he's definitely not one of the worst players in the league, which is what you said. He's probably not one of the top 7 players in the league. I could hear an argument for 10. But the idea where he's like one of the worst players, I can't get with that. The issue is now it's the $51 million. If LeBron was playing for $14 million, the mid-level exception, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah, I think LeBron probably should have bowed out already, but I get it with the son. He wanted to hang around for that, and that was one of his reasonings. And now as you go forward, it just seems weird to me that you would want to stick around and then, you know, take all the money. And I'm just saying he's entitled to whatever he wants. But what is the motivation? What is he playing for if you don't have a chance to win and you're that age? And the idea is, more than anything, you were chasing this Michael Jordan ghost of trying to get to 6 championships. That's what I don't understand.
Well, he's playing for the $51 million. That would be enough to get me to lace him up one more time to make almost $1 million a game.
But I'm talking about the playing without – when you want to have a chance to win, like at this age, he's a billionaire. I'm not poo-pooing the money. Anybody else, I would tell you should always take the money and play for it. But when you get to this level, to me, it can't be just, oh, I want a $51 million payroll because payday. Here's the other thing. Nobody in the league is interested in LeBron James, despite his numbers. No one's at that figure.
Yeah, that's the figure. You said despite his numbers, the number that matters is the $51 million. If LeBron, that's kind of where it gets to the, all right, Rich Paul, you come out with this statement. All right, roll my eyes at this because you could have opted out. And sure, nobody has massive cap space. Nobody was going to sign him for $51 million, but there's plenty of mid-level exceptions out there, both taxpayer and non-taxpayer, that he could be on a different team right now if he wanted to be.
Yeah. It's the price tag. Absolutely. People would have taken him for a decent price, but I see where I don't see him going anywhere. I don't see how he could possibly be anywhere but the Lakers because of that price tag. So, do you think this just gut? Is this his last year?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Just gut reaction. I'm not no lean, no anything. I don't think it's his last year unless they go on like some magical run. If I put it like this, if he's not a Laker, it's definitely not his last year.
Okay.